Welcome to the Improve and Have Fun podcast. My name is Paul V. Perez, and on this podcast I work on improving myself while having fun along the way, and I do so by documenting my life and interests. I just came home from seeing Top Gun Maverick, and the word that comes to mind is solid. And I've used that word before in other movies. What I mean by solid is it has entertainment, makes you laugh, makes you cry, and it makes you root for the characters in the movie. And that's what I found myself doing with this film. This is another current example of that nostalgia sells. But when you package nostalgia with a good story, you have legacy characters involved. And it's not even a complicated story. It's more of a story of... Now, of course, we're going to go full spoilers. It's that Maverick, Pete Mitchell, Tom Cruise's character in the movie, hasn't really dealt with the loss of Goose since it happened way back in the 80s. And it's something that haunts him to this day. He still is that Maverick character that's willing to go outside of the bounds or to bend the rules to kind of do what he wants to do. But then it gets... wrapped around in this modern day with technology and with younger, sharper pilots and a bureaucracy as well, which has kind of always been there, but it's just definitely, he's getting put out to pasture. Like he's on his end, even though he has so much experience and physically he's more than capable to do any kind of aviation, tactical attack kind of thing. This is the impression that you're getting, right? He still has a lot of gas left in the tank, but he's being put out to pasture, maybe because he's bent the rules and he's broken the rules so many times, Maverick, right? Like I said, the nostalgia of the music of the movie, of the original Top Gun movie, which is now on Netflix. At the time of this recording, you can still watch the first Top Gun movie. It's on Netflix. You get the music, you get Danger Zone in the very beginning. You get some of those beats, like the bong, you get that sound several times in the movie. And if you didn't see Top Gun, the movie, this film, it recaps like the death of Goose. It recaps, in a sense, his rivalry with Iceman. And then you see these themes played up again with the characters played by Miles Teller of Rooster and this other character named Hangman. This kind of rivalry to see who's kind of the best. So it's kind of like replaying the thing of Iceman and Maverick in the original Top Gun movie. Seeing Top Gun in the 80s when I was a kid, now seeing this movie now, and a theme that you get with these kinds of legacy and nostalgia movies is kind of like the main characters or the legacy characters, like I said, Maverick and an Iceman, saying they're still having that kind of rivalry, but also you feel their maturity in the sense of we're older and we're wiser and we know better kind of thing. But nostalgia rules right now. Spider-Man No Way Home rules. I think that's one of the reasons why it blew up so big, because of the nostalgia. I mean, it being a Spider-Man movie is a big part of it, but having the other Spider-Man from the previous films in it, one of the big reasons why it blew up. I think the upcoming Flash movie, I know it's mired in controversy because of Ezra Miller and all the trouble that he's in right now, but bringing back Michael Keaton's Batman in that movie, I think that movie's going to be huge. Just nostalgia sells. I mean, look at even the thing with as I'm in my room recording this, I'm looking at the poster which I have on my wall of the Book of Boba Fett, but then you're playing to Luke Skywalker and you're playing to these elements from previous Clone Wars cartoons, where you have Ahsoka and you have other characters like the Jabba the Hutt and stuff like that, the Rancor. So nostalgia right now is super popular with, especially, I'm not saying that my age group of the 40s and 50s, and I guess we're Gen X, are the ones with the money right now, spending money, because this movie Top Gun, I think can appeal to everyone because it's a solid movie with solid themes. And the acting is solid. The most impressive thing to me in the movie is catching the flight and feeling the action and the adrenaline with the flying and the planes. With the technology that was around to shoot film, back in the 80s when Top Gun was made, that was pretty exciting too. But in this movie, they're putting cameras in different parts of the plane where you really feel like the acceleration and you feel them going fast and making these maneuvers. It's really, really cool. So that really impressed me with this movie. But like I said, nostalgia sells. Going back to my point in terms of it's I think it's really my age group, this Gen X age group of 40s and 50s and maybe late 30s. That's really just like eating this stuff up because it's done well too. It's done when it's done well. You just can't serve up nostalgia and it'd be crap. But if it's nostalgia, legacy characters with new characters that you can invest in, and it's done well with a good story, I'm all in. Trust me. Like, give me more nostalgia. Give me more nostalgia, and I'm there. Take my money, please. Especially when it's done well. This movie was great. Is this a solid movie? Is this a movie where you will not be disappointed? Like, I went into it, as always, I mentioned my other favorite YouTube movie critics that I follow, which are once again John Campea, Grace Randolph. I follow Christian Harloff as well, and they were all talking about how this movie was so great. This movie was so great. So I went in with high expectations, and I wasn't disappointed. Watching this movie, I think a very interesting point that came to my mind, and maybe I'm not paying enough attention, but watching this movie just made me feel like, why don't we have more movies like this where it's not superhero based? Because we've just gotten so much superhero stuff for the last few years. I'm feeling a little burned out from the superhero stuff. I'm still there day one for superhero movies, but I'm starting to feel burned out by them. And just seeing this movie is like a breath of fresh air where we can have something that's not superhero related, and it's like a modern day military movie, and it's great. I just feel like there was more variety in the past, and I'm sure that there's a lot of variety now, and maybe I don't give enough love to movies, smaller movies, maybe like movies that have come out this year that have gotten very good reviews, like The Northman, which I haven't seen yet, or Everything Everywhere All at Once, which I haven't seen yet either. I want to see. So just seeing this movie just made me feel like you could just have more variety of movies in theaters. And we're coming back now to theaters, and more stuff is coming to theaters, coming out of the pandemic and all. But this movie just made me kind of long for that, like just for more big variety in the movies, and also that it doesn't have to be always like a CG spectacular thing. Like this movie, I'm sure it had CG in it, but it just used very practical effects of technology in terms of like fighter planes. And I just found that super suspenseful. I found the whole preparing for the mission great, like this montage, a little bit montage, but also you have these beats where you're just kind of preparing the mission, and also talking about the gravity of the mission, and having to kind of bend the rules to do this mission because you've already set these rules ahead in time. But the cast was great. I didn't have any issues with this movie. I thought this movie was fantastic. I really, really enjoyed it. I think my only complaint is, like, I think I went in with super high expectations. This movie met them, but I just think I wanted it to be even more than it was, than what was presented. But like I said, I very much enjoyed this movie, and more Tom Cruise, please. Like, he's coming out with the next Mission Impossible, which has been pushed back to next year, next summer, and I'm for that as well. Like, I've enjoyed all the Mission Impossible movies. I know everybody craps on the John Woo one, the second one, but I really enjoyed that one as well. And this is also another thing, just Tom Cruise himself, like, really kind of spearheading and producing these movies and building his like team of people that he works with. I mean, he is doing more movies with Christopher McQuarrie, who they made Age of Tomorrow together. They made I think a movie or two of the Mission Impossible ones. Christopher McQuarrie like worked in the script for this movie, and also he works with Joseph Kosinski again, who made that Tron movie, the remake, not the remake, but the newer Tron movie. But then they made Oblivion together, and now Joseph Kosinski has directed Tom Cruise in this movie. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see him again working with Tom Cruise in the future. But it seems like just Tom Cruise is putting together the projects that he has familiarity with, that he has control over, and that he can really like kind of watch over. And I don't know what his production ways are, but hey, I'm satisfied with what he's been putting out. I've enjoyed everything he's put out for the last few years, and I'm there day one to see whatever he does next. So this movie was really fantastic. Very great time with this movie, and I know for a fact that once December rolls around, this is going to be year-end movie lists of best of for many, many people, many critics. Now we're going to be listening to returning guest contributors Jason G and David Mckay. And this time Jason also brought some family along. He told me these family members were real big Top Gun fans to begin with. So let's go ahead and get into their thoughts right now.
All right, so we just came out of...
Birthday again.
Happy birthday again. We just came out of Top Gun Maverick, Thursday night, opening night, and now it's Friday, opening day. And here with my brother-in-law, Ricky, my nephew-in-law, or step-nephew, I don't know, Alex, Dave Mckay, and Jason, myself. And yeah, that was quite a trip. What do you think about the movie, David?
Hey, I thought I thought it was I thought it was exactly the same, but improved. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, the same as the first.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it was literally like a facsimile of the first, with a little Star Wars thrown in, actually.
Yes.
Yes, the French one from, yes. They destroyed the Death Star, yes.
Yeah.
The mission.
That's probably like, you want to make a guaranteed hit, just like make a little bit of the plot the trench run, and you're good.
No, but what I thought, it was an exhilarating ride of a movie. But what I thought was their way to make it exciting was how they went over it like a few times.
3 to be exact.
3 times, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they have this down pat, right?
Yeah.
But it works.
And it's subliminal. That's the thing. It's while other things are going on, you'll hear the plot being spoken, like the main plot being spoken,
right,
with a little bit, like just a flash or two of someone showing a diagram,
But
But then 3 times they're like, we gotta blow up this thing, and they do it 3 times. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, but even in the end, right before they take off, they're doing the briefing, like as they're getting ready to go, just in case you forgot what it was about,
yes,
right? Yeah.
Right. And you know what? I did the suspension of disbelief because I do know in real life, sometimes for protocol, you have to go all over it all over again.
Right.
I mean, the more you know, the more second nature it is going to be when you do it,
Right.
Yeah.
So that was, but the formula really works. I mean, they have a lot of twists and turns that I didn't expect.
Yeah, like
And
what, Jason?
No, because for example, I really thought that they were either going to kill off Goose's son or kill off Tom Cruise, Maverick, and have him go
I told you that.
and have him go out like in a glorified whatever.
It's a Tom Cruise
like
movie.
like Armageddon with Bruce Willis.
Yeah, or James Bond.
But that didn't happen. This is a spoiler podcast. And no, just like James Bond, like in the last one. And so, anyway, it was an exciting movie. Seeing it in IMAX was really fun. Anyway, let's go around with any other thoughts, numbers?
Well, the filming, that's the whole big thing they were talking about how no green screens and all that stuff. So the filming and the whole in the plane feeling like you're actually flying thing was like down.
Yes.
On point.
It was very on point.
Yes. And I do think, I'll stand behind it, I do think I saw maybe just 2 fake, I wouldn't say green screen, but 2 shots.
But it's more, but they're using it to like enhance it as opposed to like actually doing all the flying with it,
No, I wasn't even talking about flying scenes.
No, I'm talking about
literally
enhancing the scene with maybe a spot and here and there CGI.
Okay, perhaps.
That's what you're saying. Like maybe.
No, I thought it was.
I
just literally thought it was that thing from The Mandalorian. I don't know if you guys know this, but The Mandalorian is literally all filmed in a room, in a big room, like all the daytime stuff.
Well, it's the same with.
And I thought they did that maybe twice, just 2 shots. I saw that kind of looked just. Yeah.
But it's mostly all done with real. Like they really flew all those planes.
They call it. Yes.
I know, and it looked great. I mean, that's that's the way and then that's the way it feels. Like I think this is well, you guys didn't see it, but maybe you did, Alex. But Mad Max Fury Road, like I thought was the best of all the Mad Maxes. It's so good. Like it's like this. It's like this is even. I think this is better than the original Top Gun.
But don't you, and do you think you would have had to have seen the first Top Gun to enjoy this movie?
No, of course
think
not. No.
I don't think you have to have seen the first one.
No, I mean it's not a crazy,
eggs,
you know.
There's
a lot of Easter eggs for the people who saw the first one,
right.
but it's not a difficult plot. I mean, so you don't have to know.
Like you were saying, this is like the all-American kind of, blow them up the bad guys kind of thing. Yeah,
but it works. It was fun. It's gonna make. I think it's gonna do well. You know, and more power to them. It was a lot of fun. I was actually pleasantly surprised. I didn't know that. I was when I was like, oh, they're saying it's getting good reviews. Let me look at the tomato, Rotten Tomatoes. Let me look at the tomato meter. That's like this website.
What'd they give it?
It was a 97.
Wow.
So I was like, oh, it's probably gonna. This is getting favorable reviews. I'm thinking where they average out the reviews. If they're positive, then they put a plus. If they're negative, they're down. So it was 97% positive reviews. I thought it was going to be like, everyone's saying it was getting good reviews, so I thought it was going to be maybe 80 or 75 or whatever. And then I looked at it, it's like 97 and like 200 reviews were in already.
Right.
I was like, wow.
I have to say it was one of the best LCD movies I've ever seen, meaning lowest common denominator movie. Meaning like it's not like dumbed down, but you don't have to think hard to know what. You just sit back and enjoy.
But that's what
the ride.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah,
it's a nice popcorn summer movie, but
that's what it is.
But
and thrilling.
Yes.
Yeah, and
very well directed.
But also,
especially since directed by that guy.
That's why. Yes, the guy who directed. I forgot his name, but he did Oblivion, which was with Tom Cruise.
Right.
But also, when you're talking about that kind of,
Tony Scott's style, he did a really good job at it.
And Tony
Scott, what were you going to say about this?
Tony Scott was the original director. He it was dedicated to him, and because I think he was going to do this movie, but unfortunately he passed away and he couldn't. But no, what I was going to say is that you're talking about dumbed down plot and it's like, that's really what Star Wars is. Like Star Wars, George Lucas made the absolute perfect movie for just getting someone intrigued and getting excited, and then everyone has a great time. I mean, that's the ultimate, I think, movie. Like saying dumbed down plot, it's kind of saying it in a negative tone. But,
no, I didn't mean it that way. I just meant it's not a thinker's movie. Right. You're really not going to be hard pressed to contemplate.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? You're not.
But there's a lot of little things you could excuse because you're like, oh, I'm just here to enjoy the movie. I don't need to think about it. Okay, so there's a little plot hole. But okay.
I mean, it was fun. It was fun saying the lines that I knew were going to happen.
Right. That's really good. No, it had great Easter eggs. I just saw the original Top Gun again last night.
Okay.
I was about to rent it, actually pay for it, because I didn't think it was on anything like streaming, because I thought Paramount Plus. But then before I was about to click the pay for the button, $3.99 to rent it, I looked. I was like, let me look where it is, and then it says it's on. I think one other thing, and then it was on Netflix until May 31st.
Wow.
So I said, "Oh, we have Netflix. I'm going to just watch it for free." Then, so then I saw it.
I would like to.
And then I noticed all the Easter eggs because I just saw it. They had a lot not Easter eggs.
I think there were a plethora of memes in this film as well, in a good way.
Alex, any words?
Not sure. I don't know. You guys
seen the first one?
Yeah, I've seen the first one. It's just that I think most of the things that you guys said I was already thinking about.
So let's go around with numbers, and if you have any other final thoughts. So 1 out of 10, 10 being the best movie ever. What did you say?
Wait, is this against every other movie ever made, or just compared to Top Gun, the first one?
Just what did you feel like this movie? Did you have a great time?
I thought it was brilliantly executed. Yeah, so I'd give it a 9, a 9 point. I mean, if there was just a little bit more contemplativeness, like something to think,
right.
I'd give it even more. But let's go with a 9.1.
Okay, very good, very good. I would say 9, just a straight 9, which is a really high score, and it was very well done. For the same reasons as you. How about you?
Right, I would go with a 9, saying within the same genre of an action movie where you don't have to think so much, and with all the flying and everything, I would say beyond that. But in terms of the filmography, kind of the actual filming and the action of the execution of that, I would say 10. There's just the level of that.
It's exhilarating. See it on the biggest screen possible.
Yes.
I mean, I want to see it again, not only in IMAX up on 968 on Broadway, the real IMAX, but also there's this theater, the Regal on 13th and Broadway, where it's like they have a semicircle.
Right.
It's like this. It's like half of
concave.
Yeah. So that's one. Alex, what's your final score?
I would say around a 9 or 10, just because of the film, the film.
Yeah,
the cinematography was really good. Other than that, I think just on the plot in general, some of the things they kind of like glossed over. Like the things with like the nuclear plant and stuff, they never explained like who.
What country?
Yeah, who are
Well,
they?
they never said it in the first movie. Also,
They just
they
made them
say-
look
the
Russian.
last.
They didn't say Iran or anything, did they? No.
Who?
No.
They
didn't say
No,
Iran.
they don't
say
say what
anything.
country at
And
all.
then in the first one, also their final mission after they graduate and they have this final mission, they never say the country either. I
No,
don't
I think they.
Well, MiGs. MiGs are Russian MiGs.
Well,
They just
no,
say MiGs.
Yeah, but then they say
Look
enemy
at it
territory or
again.
something. I think.
Well,
Yes, you're right. They kind
don't
of do say like they are. Like some ship has gone into enemy territory
Yes,
and
exactly.
it's become
That's it.
disabled.
So they
have to-
really-
they're launching a rescue operation
Correct.
and they got to cover
And,
for that.
and then
They don't-
for the first time yesterday, I just realized that one of the people they were rescuing was Tim Robbins. He's actually in that movie in the very end, which
Yeah.
is so funny.
Yeah,
I didn't know that was him.
So
in
there
there.
may be like really a huge amount of Easter eggs that we didn't even catch because
Right.
we didn't.
You're
you know,
right,
even
you're
thinking
right.
about it.
And I just thought of this just now. I would like to say, I think that team that made this film took the formula
perfected it.
out of formulaic, while making it formulaic by using a formula. Thank you.
Yes, and they did it in a great way.
Yes.
Like
That's what because
It-
formulaic being the derogatory term.
You know,
Saying
it was
they took the
every twist- every
formulaic
twist-
out of formula.
every twist
while putting a
worked
formula
very well.
into formulaic.
There
I
you
had to
go.
say it twice just to make you understand. Okay.
anyway, hopefully Paul can use this for his podcast.
Yeah.
This is Jason, David, Ricky, and Alex signing off at the AMC Empire, 42nd Street, opening night for Top Gun Maverick.
Thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and I will catch you on the next one.